So Myanmar is building itself out of isolation. If you tell Myanmar they cannot trade internationally, well, Myanmar will trade more regionally. If you tell Myanmar they cannot go west, well, Myanmar will go east. If you tell Myanmar they can't use your international cards, well, Myanmar will just start printing local QR codes. The people of Myanmar cannot be stopped. Let me explain to you how this works. So Myanmar is often described as an isolated country, but Myanmar is not actually isolated at all. This is because Myanmar has a unique geographic advantage. Myanmar sits in between India, China, Bangladesh, and all of ASEAN. This means that Myanmar is the only bridge between the world's largest economy and the world's fastest growing economy. But geography alone is not enough. You still need railways, ports, general infrastructure, and even financial infrastructure. But Myanmar is actually building a lot of these projects. For example, when it comes to electricity, Myanmar has enormous hydropower potential, and there are many hydropower plants that are being built or revived. For example, you have the Upper Yewa project, you have the Shweli 3 project, and there are other hydropower projects that I've covered on this channel, so I don't want to waste too much time on that. And although the progress might be slow, there is still progress. These projects will be built now or they will be built later, but they will be built. And we must remember the true reason why electricity is important, because it's not actually just about turning the lights on. The reason why electricity is important is because electricity is an input to every modern industry. Data centers need electricity, hospitals need electricity, hotels need electricity, restaurants, everybody needs electricity. And it is important for me to mention that electricity is not just about how we turn the lights on. The reason why electricity is important is because electricity is a modern input to all industries. Hospitals need electricity, data centers need electricity, hotels need electricity, every business needs electricity. But electricity is just one part of the puzzle. Myanmar also needs transportation infrastructure. This is no secret, but there has been some progress on this, and I've made some videos about things like the Dala Bridge in Yangon, the new Dimu railway line that just opened. These are recent completed infrastructure projects, but there will be more in 2026 and 2027. Although, given the current situation in Myanmar, it's very hard to predict when some of these projects will be completed. But we do know they will be completed. Outside of that, there's always going to be improvements to the roads and the bridges as time goes on. So Myanmar's transportation infrastructure is improving. It is just not improving as fast as some of us would like, including myself. The general infrastructure in Myanmar will improve. And as the infrastructure in Myanmar slowly improves, there's no reason to believe that Myanmar cannot be just as rich and prosperous as Singapore, which is our rich ASEAN family member. But Myanmar has something that Singapore does not have: land. Myanmar may currently have better transportation infrastructure and financial infrastructure, but Myanmar has a different set of advantages. Myanmar has more room for development. Myanmar has better agricultural capacity. Myanmar has more natural resources. And Myanmar just has more land in general. Also, Myanmar has a better and more thriving workforce. But there's something more important than just land and natural resources. Myanmar's biggest resources is not jade and oil. Myanmar's best resource is the people. And Myanmar does not have the biggest population. That is not what makes Myanmar's population special. What makes Myanmar's population special is the average age of the people here. Myanmar is a very youthful country. This is good for building a consumer market or a consumer base, and it's good for the labor and workforce. Now, notice how I just listed problems in Myanmar and I never said anything about international sanctions. That is because what Myanmar needs most is stability inside of Myanmar. Myanmar does not need to seek approval of the international community. Myanmar only needs the regional community. China is next door. India is next door. Thailand is next door. Bangladesh is next door. That is more than enough. Those groups I just named account for billions of people. Most of the world is on the doorstep of China. We do not need to worry about what Europe thinks. All we need to do is be accepted by our brothers and sisters around us. Myanmar has the best geographical position in the world. If we can get stability inside of Myanmar, we can take advantage of our geographical location. That's it.